Hi, I'm back. I know it's been a while, so I'm going to start out with 3 cards today, but I will be doing cards, mini albums, and I'm going to go back and work on a planner. I did it for a while, and then it just seemed like I was doing my planner and really decorating it more than planning. So I'm going to give it another shot starting in July. And so we're just going to create cards and albums and work in our planners. So like I said, today I'm going to work on 3 cards. I am using leftover paper from Graphic 45, and this is the Children's Hour collection that I'm working with. I am making an album out of this that I am not recording, but I have parts and scraps from this that I'm going to be using, so I thought I haven't done April yet, so this is the full sheet, and I'll show you on here the pieces I'm using, and then of course the backs of the this paper and the other paper too. So my other items that I'll be using, of course, is my art glitter glue, and I get this at Country Craft Creations. She has the best price and the customer service awesome. I got my stamping block. I have archival black. I used cashmere from Close to My Heart to the stress stuff. I am using Made Just For You Because You're Priceless stamp that I got at Myers. I am using a Sizzix Hugs die, a color box screen, and I'm doing 2 different sizes of cards. I am doing the normal, I believe this is A2 size, and then I am also doing 2 A1 sizes. So we'll get started first with the A2 one, and I went ahead and pre-cut everything, but like I said, I will show you where I got everything. Oh, I'm using my mini mister, and I'm also using a stamp set, and this was a Close to My Heart, and it just has card sentiments on it. So I'll put that kind of fall off to the side. I'm going to get my card base here, and the first thing I do is decide which side is going to be my back and front. I think this will be my back, and I'm going to take my archival black ink, and I'm going to try to stamp right in the center this Made Just For You Because You're Priceless. I'm going to kind of line it up on the lines and just kind of eyeball it. Now these card bases that I'm using today have a texture, so that it may not stamp perfectly. So you can kind of see the texture on it, but that's what I'm doing on the back. And you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and do all of them. So I just line them up and get these stamped this way. See, I think all of them are going to be horizontal on this set. So I'm going to ink up my stamp, try to get it as even as possible. See, that came out better on the smoother cardstock here. So we're done with that part. I'll move these off to the side. Now on this first card, the bigger of them, I am using just a piece of the back side of the collage paper, and I'm going to put that down just like that. I'm just going to add some glue to the back of this, and I did go distress around the edges with a foam, Tim Holtz foam blender thing in black, in the archival black. And I cut it down to size, and the size would depend on how much of a border you want, because I will have some white cardstock border going around it. So I just add my glue, give it as even as I can. I'm not always very good at that part, but then I cut out the word hugs in this black pattern paper with the Sizzix Hugs die. Now if you don't have the die, you could cut that on your silhouette, your Cricut, any alphabet or font would do. You could stamp it and cut it out. Now I also cut it out with some foam, a little bit of foam. So I'm just going to glue the word onto the foam. And I also went around the word hugs with the blending tool in the black too. And then my foam hat was already was sticky on one side. You just gotta peel the backing off. If you don't have that, you can always just use your whatever glue you prefer. And then I'm going to try to get that pretty well in the center of the card. And it says hugs right in the center of the card. Just everything down. And then I took these little roses. And they were part of the collage part, and I fussy cut several of them out. And I popped them up on little pieces of foam. And I think I wanted them this way. So I am just going to pop that up and glue those down. Place where I want it. And this one too. Now my next step is on the paper along the bottom there's like a little saying, and I just cut that out. Now this is different on April than it was in February, of course. And then I cut them into strips, and that's going to be the sentiment on my inside. And I'm just going to figure out where I kind of want them placed. And the saying says, I'll share my pennies all with you, give you half my ice cream too, give all the world if it were mine, if you would be my Valentine. So I'm just going to kind of even those up as best I can and then glue those down. And then went around with that, those with the black ink too with the, I'm just going to line them up here, try to get them even. Each one. I'm not sure how straight that is, but it will work. Yep, almost glued that one down back, upside down. Trying to get the spacing even and everything. Right here, and last one. So that's the way the inside of the card will look. Now I also cut out some extra little roses, and I think I'll put that one right there. Well, I might put it down here seeing I smudged something. I still like it over here. So that's where I'm going to put it. Just where I want it. I'm going to put it down. Okay. And then on the envelope I always like to do a little something. So I have another little rose I've fussy cut it out. And that he's going to go right in that corner. Now, if you don't have the children's hour, you can do it the same with any of their other calendar collections. It's just go through and see what you like. So that's our first February Children's Hour card with the matching envelope. I'll put that off to the side. And then the second one, like I said, will be a smaller card. It's an A1. And this was the pattern from the cut-aparts for February. So I'm just going to glue that down and try to center that on my card. Remember what I have here. I have the little girl I cut out, and she was on one of the tags here, like this little boy here, and I just fussy cutted her out. And then it says, "Will you be my Valentine?" And that was one of the strips right here, the bigger strips. So the "Will you be my Valentine?" I'm going to pop up on a piece of foam. And add my art glitter glue. And figure out where exactly I want that to be. So I think I wanted it maybe right about there. And I do like to make sure they're kind of grounded so they're not floating in the air. So when I put her down, I'll try to make sure her farthest shoe is touching that edge, so it looks like, so she doesn't look like she's floating in the air. And of course, if she had balloons, that might be okay. So once again, I'm just going to try to cut her right at the edge and pop her down. Now the roses and like this little girl, after I got them cut, I did go and distress them, and for that I did use the cashmere from Close to My Heart, just to let you know. And if you don't, you can use any light brown, old paper, or what, you know, whatever you have. And then I have this little scent in it. It says, "If you will be my Valentine, all my secrets shall be thine." And that came from this strip right here. So I'm going to open it up. And I think that needs a little more distressed on the bottom. This one too, it just looks kind of whitish there. Okay, so we'll see if we can get this down straight. Make sure you always grab the right first line first. Put the words the right way. Kind of center it there, maybe. And then the second thing. And I'll put that down and try to keep it even. Put that down. And then there's another rose from the paper that I cut out. I'm going to put that there. And then to decorate my card front, or my envelope front, I have this little girl. And she was, there's always this little tag right here. She was on this side of the lines. And I just fussy cutted her right out. And so I'm going to put her right here on the card. She's too cute. Adds a little extra to your card. So that will be card 2. And back with this thing. And that's the place for 2. Now I started this project before I started taping, so like I said, I'm doing an album. And I had leftovers, and I already did January's cards, and I didn't tape them, but I might show them towards the end. Now this one, for my front, I just took a piece of red cardstock and I used that stencil, and I put the cardstock down, and then I put an embossing pad, and I sent it through my Sizzix a couple times, and it made it embossed, and you can see the texture on that, just because I didn't really like any of the pattern paper with what I was going to do with this card, so I just made my own textured stuff there. So we're just going to glue that down. And I did ink around the edges again with the black. And put that down nice and even, or like I said, as best I can do, because I don't always put them very even. And then this came from, I believe it's that part right there on this April. It goes right there, and I just cut it down. And it says, "Oh, I know something I won't tell. Someone loves you awfully well." And I'm just going to glue that down flat on there, bottom the center. And I believe my next piece is that same little girl that I took. Nope. You know what? I kind of lied. That one there, that little girl there, came from one of the stamp images. And I just cut the little girl out here and put her here. On this card is the little girl that was here. So she was on that side. So I cut her out. And I'm going to put her right about there, I think. I don't know if you can see. She's kind of a little bit off to the edge, but I'll be okay there. And she's another little cute little image that I just think is darling. And once again, I'm making sure her feet are grounded so she ain't floating anywhere. Now, I didn't have anything that I really like to put on the inside for this card, so that's where my stamp set comes in. I'm going to open up my Misty. And I'm going to put it this way. Put my minglets down. And I have a Happy Valentine's Day stamp here. Place it here and figure out where I want it. And that looks good to me. Now, I did find out if you just kind of close it and tap lightly, the stamp will stick. If you push it really hard, it might pull up the paper and then you'll have to redo it and refigure out where you want it. So I think that looks good. I'm going to ink that stamp up with some black. Right there, so it doesn't smear on the card. And then press it down. Now, if you don't have a good stamp, you can, of course, do it again. So I think it came out pretty good, but I just wanted to show, and it will be exactly where the first one was. And just push it down again. And lift. And there's our stamp. I know my hands get all inky. I'm like a sloppy crafter. I really am. And I don't have my baby wipes with me, so. So for card 2, that's on there. So it says, "Oh, I know something I won't tell. Someone loves you off the boat." The little girl there. And it says, "Happy Valentine's Day." And then to decorate this, I have one of the little stamps cut out. And this was actually from the collage. It wasn't from the other paper with the tags and everything. And I'm just going to put that in the center of the back flap of the envelope. Once again, try to get it centered. And put it down. And there's our 3 cards. So I'll show them through you one more time, closer up. We have the red card with the embossed hearts. And it just says Happy Valentine's Day. With a matching little envelope. And then the second card has that cute little girl. And it says, will you be my Valentine? And when you open it up, it says, if you will be my Valentine, all my secrets shall be thine. And it has the matching little girl on the front, or the little girl butterfly with the wings. And then our first card that we did together was the hugs card with the roses in the corner. Inside it says, I'll share my pennies all with you, give you half my ice cream too, give all the world if it were mine, if you would be my Valentine. And then in the front we decorated it with another piece of fussy cut rose. So those are my 3 cards for today. I am going to try to keep up with doing at least 1 or 2 videos a week. If you have any questions, please ask below, and everybody have a great day, and I hope you got inspired to make some cards. Thank you. Bye.